What's up, y'all? My name is Ian Edwards. It's been a minute. This is the Soccer Comic Rant, and the season's about to start next week. So we're going to talk about Charity Shield. We're going to talk about why Harry Maguire needs to leave Man United. And thank you for that offer that just came in before this podcast, West Ham. We're going to talk about Chelsea. I mean, they got the new coach. He's from the other side of London that they don't like, but I like what they did in the preseason. So we're going to see if Neil likes his own team anymore and see if he's back on board. And we're also going to talk about Lee. Southampton is in the championship, and we have never supported our teams when they were in the championship. So we want to know what's going on down there. Do they have lights at the stadium? Is there cannibalism going on down there? Is it safe down there to go to the games? Like, do they film the games? Is it in black and white? Like, what is going on in the championship? Like, this is the first time we've had a podcast made with a team in the championship. Is like, are they on desert islands? Are there people at the games? Like, we want to know, like, what is this league that every Premier League is afraid to go down to? Like, what's going on down there? You know, there's a lot of rumors, a lot of urban legend. So you'll let us know. I don't know if Martin's going to join, but the thing is in the chat. We welcome you all back. Some people have been hitting me up. We're going to talk about some transfers. But yeah, we're here. It's back on. I was tired of talking about football, so I know the players are tired of playing football. We were just talking about football regularly. So we took a break, and now we're back, and the season's about to pop off. I'd like to welcome Southampton Championship Lee, Hudson, stand-up comment from England to the pod, usual suspect, normal co-host. And then we got Neil Chakravarty. His team, Chelsea, plays in shirts like they're in the championship. There's no sponsor on the back, but there's no excuse for a name of the player not to be on the back of the shirt just because you don't have a sponsor on the front. So that I don't get. All preseason's been confusing. Nobody knows who any of your players. You already had too many players, and then the team with too many players is playing with no names on the back of the jersey the whole preseason. Even more.
No, that was just one game though.
Now, I don't remember. I watched a bunch of Chelsea games. I don't remember seeing any names on the back, bro.
No, but I think you saw the names. You just didn't know who those players are because I don't know. Like, these are all random players picked up from different parts of the world, thrown together for possibilities and magic.
Man, it was fun to watch your algorithm play. You know what I'm saying? Your algorithm squad that was picked up based on stats and numbers from all over the world, thrown together into the field. Let's see what Poch can do with this algorithm of Chelsea players. But it's good to see y'all, man. It's been a minute.
It's good to be back.
Yeah, for sure.
Lee's tired because he's in Scotland. Neil, that wasn't energetic at all. I don't know. I believe it.
It's been a long day. I just told you, we just got news that Nkuku's gone. So,
He's what?
Nkuku is out for the next couple of months.
Ooh. Shit. Damn, bro. I didn't know. I knew he was injured, but I didn't know he was injured.
Yeah, it's bad.
You still got, what's Jackson's first name?
Nicholas Jackson.
I kind of like that for him. I feel like they would play anybody but him because he's young, but what he did in the preseason, there's something special about this kid. And sometimes the universe will do something to force like human hand into making this kid what he should be. What I fear he's gonna be as a opposition team fan member. Like I think, like, I didn't remember his first name, but I'm sure by the end of the season I'll be like, Nick Jackson. Is that what it is? Nicholas. I would not be mistaken this guy's name. Yeah. So where do you guys want to start? Like, Lee, you're in the championship. Tell us what's going on down there in that basement. Where they,
they've already begun, right?
Yeah, they already played, and I watched your first game.
Yeah,
Southampton versus who did you play?
Sheffield Wednesday.
Sheffield, yeah.
Sheffield Wednesday, another former Premier League team, right?
Yeah. They came up from League One last season, so they were promoted. It was promoted team versus relegated team.
Hilarious.
Yeah, and it was an interesting game. I had to watch it back. I'm at the Edinburgh Fringe Festival right now. I had a show immediately on game time, which was hard. I was watching like in between the other acts, like on my phone and stuff. But I've sat back and watched the game. It was, I mean, I went to our final preseason game. We played AZ from Holland, who played in the Europa Conference League last year. And we looked okay. We dominated the ball, but we didn't really have much cutting edge. So I was worried about goals going into this game. And I mean, we dominated though against Sheffield Wednesday. We made more passes in the first half of that game than we made in any 90 minutes last season. And we set a new championship record as well, which was crazy.
In your first championship game.
Yeah.
Yeah, damn.
So
what's the championship record that you broke?
For completed passes, I think we got 991 in the game or something. But it's sort of the new style of play that we're going for with Russell Martin as manager. That's what he wants, is heavy possession, trying to just grind teams down by starving them of the ball. And I mean, we started well. Teller, I mean, the goal was technically Armstrong's because it deflected off his back. But I mean, I'd give it to Teller. I'd give it to Teller all day long. And it's been interesting with him because he was on loan at Burnley last year, helped them get promoted, was their top scorer. Burnley offered us really small sort of transfer offers for him, and we rejected all of them, saying like, come on, let's be silly. Let's not be silly here. He's that, top scorer, and they were offering like little money for him, and they ended up signing Nathan Redmond instead from Besiktas on a free transfer, who used to play for us, who plays in the same position as Teller. So they kind of called off a little bit.
He's on the right.
Winger. He can play left or right. Yeah. And the Burnley chairman's daughter made a video that they put out on Instagram saying like free. It had like the free Nelson Mandela music in the back, and they were saying like free Nathan Teller. Because they wanted him back. It was so stupid. It's like, this is the chairman's daughter.
So then pay for him. So pay for him.
Yeah. It's like, he was your top scorer last year. Pay
it's up to you.
Premier League price for him.
Yeah, you got the money. Yeah.
Yeah.
You got promoted.
But there's rumours he's going to sign a new contract with us, which would be great if it happens. Because he's clearly, obviously, a very good player for the Championship and capable of playing in the Premier League as well. So, yeah, he did well. We conceded a goal from a set piece, which was disappointing. But we've signed a new set piece coach this week who used to work with Brentford. So that'll be interesting. He's worked at a bunch of other big clubs as well. So we've got that guy in, and then Shea Adams, the guy who can't score in the Premier League, came off the bench.
He scored once in a while in the Prem.
Hopefully he scores more in the Championship. Otherwise, we're going to need to buy a striker. But I mean, he was loving it because he's a ex-Sheffield United player. And when he came off the bench, the Sheffield Wednesday fans were all booing him. So as soon as he scored, he was running past their fans, cup in the ear. So that was fun. But I mean, really good game to start with. It was interesting seeing that new style of play. The fact that it's so apparent so early on, the players are all buying into it and they want to do it. So the fact that we're implementing it that well, that early on, only bodes well, because hopefully it will just get better and better. If we can get a couple of the players who don't want to be at the club out and get some transfer fees for them, it means we can probably go and buy a couple more players who Martin rates for that system as well from his old clubs maybe or something. There's a couple of players at Swansea we've been linked with. So Lavia, I think, will go probably this week or next week to Liverpool. We're playing hardball, but they're eventually up in the price. We're not letting anyone go cheap.
Yeah,
we don't want to let go cheap
now, right? For Lavia, right?
Yeah, we want 50. So
50.
I'm sure they'll come to a deal on that, because apparently Lavia wants to move. He was on the bench against Sheffield Wednesday. We didn't start him, but we started Ward-Prowse. West Ham seem like they've moved on to McTominay now, which is good, because they wouldn't even meet our 30 million price for him, which was
I mean, they offered us 20 for Harry Maguire, so don't feel that insulted. Jesus Christ. I mean, that's the first I've ever been insulted for Harry Maguire. Was when West Ham offered him 20 mil for him. Just one thing about Shea Adams, like this is his time to shine, man. If you can only score like 5 or 6 goals in the Prem, you should be able to get 20 in the Championship. With like, there's more games, more opportunity, and he started off the way I thought he would. I think him and Armstrong, or whichever, you used to have 2 Armstrongs. I don't know which one you kept, or if they're both still there, but one of them was good in the Championship, and that's why you got him. So he should, you know, he already, I guess one of them already accidentally scored. So imagine when he intentionally takes a shot on goal. So you got a positive looking style of play coach. Like I saw you guys balling those guys, and I know it's a promoted team, but it's a great entryway into your first game in the league. So hopefully you guys will keep it up.
Yeah, fingers crossed. And I mean, Shea Adams has been chased by some Premier League teams. Apparently Palace, Bournemouth, and Everton all want him. I mean, I think if you went to Everton, that would be the most Everton signing ever. It'd be like another Neil Maupay that they signed from Brighton. It's like, oh, you're signing a player who can only score 5 goals a season.
It's like Everton does that where they buy a £5 million player here, £10 million player there, and just buy one. Use all that money and buy one player. That's good at a position that you need it. And then, I think they're into like deals, and these deals ain't helping you. You almost get relegated every year. So just like, what are you doing? People love buying. Like even with United, like, you know, I just mentioned that West Ham offered some money for like McTominay and Maguire, and by the time we get off this pod, they should be gone, but they won't be because, you know, contracts take some time. But it's like, and I'm not even like, but already all the podcasts, the United fan base podcasts, have picked out who they want to spend the money on, and it's like, and it's all midfielders, and I feel like United has 3 young midfielders. So at first we was just going to get Amrabat, but now these guys, they want Amrabat and 2 other guys from, and I forgot their names, but it's like, no, we got Mainu, who's injured, but he's going to be back this season. So you want to leave space for him to, you know, to get in the game and like become his touch. When he touches the ball, it just looks special, and he's just doing simple stuff. He ain't even trying no tricks or nothing. And then Hannibal is there, and Gore, who played yesterday when we played in Ireland against, I think, Atletico Bilbao, looked amazing. He's just tenacious. He's little. Like, I want these kids to get a chance. So it's like, let's not go spending. Like, it's funny, the fan base loves these kids, but then it's like, let's go buy. Let's go spend some money. But we need that money to help us with the amount of money that we spend on players to help balance that, so we don't get in trouble with is it FFP? So let's keep that money, get Amrabat for like 20-something mil, and then, you know, keep the kids in a rotation. I'm gonna ask you, Neil. So how you feeling about Chelsea, bro?
Just before Chelsea, I just want to touch upon what Lee said, right? I think the fact that the Burnley is involved with the Nathan Della thing is interesting, because I think Burnley is a good template for Southampton to go by this season. Like, got a new manager. It seems like a very different style of play. And I've been hearing quite a few good things about this Russell Martin guy. So yeah, it probably be in the long run one of the best things that could have happened. Like, you know, going down and having a really positive season, coming back right up, but then you're set for the next, say, 3-4 years to have the kind of the time that you had with Hasenhüttl, for example, when he first came in. So yeah, I think we'll be watching a lot more of the Championship.
Yeah, and before you answer, Neil, just reminded me. So in the Championship, right? Who is your transfer window still open till next week, like ours?
Yeah.
Do you guys have a transfer window? Do you guys have a transfer window?
Yeah, it's the same as the Premier League one.
Well, like, how does it work down there?
It isn't really. You're talking like they're in Siberia, like Eastern Siberia.
It's just funny to act completely ignorant
What
about
happens
it.
north of the wall, you don't really know over there.
Yeah, this is north of the wall, bro. This is north of the wall.
The only difference is the transfer into the Championship's only single glazed. Yours is double glazed.
Double glazed. Listen, you got Premier League money in the Championship, and you're selling players for Premier League dollars. So this is great for the owners. They might try to come back up and go right back down, or try to stay down 2 years. Because how many years of parachute money is it?
3 seasons, I think.
3. Yeah, why wouldn't you plan it to get the 3 parachute years and then go back up and then come right back down? And I mean, Southampton was always about making money in the Premier League anyway by getting players and then selling them. You know, so this is financially actually good luck for the people who run the club. But what I wanted to ask is, like, so who are the favorites in the Championship, like, as of now?
Leicester are right up there. They signed Enzo Maresca as their new manager, who was one of Pep's assistants when City won the Champions League last season. He looks just like Pep. He's a bald dude with a little goatee, but he's Italian rather than Spanish. He's an ex-centre midfielder. He played for Sevilla for a little while. Played for Rangers, I think, in Scotland. Oh no, that's good. Did he play up there as well? He played for West Brom in this country for a while. I don't think he played for Rangers, actually. I'm thinking of Gattuso for that one. But yeah, he played for a bunch of clubs. He was at Juve, I think, for a little while as well. But yeah, he's there. He's their manager. He's also doing what we're doing, and because he's trying to put like a City style of play in there, going for that heavy possession. They've kept a lot of players as well. Leicester, like Vardy's still there. Dewsbury Hall's still there.
Vardy's Leicester for life. He'll follow them back to non-league where he started. You know.
Who else is there? Pereira's still there. Yeah, they got a bunch of players. They signed Harry Winks from Spurs. They signed Connor Cody.
Oh, get out of here! That's a good signing.
Yeah, they got Winks from Spurs. They got Connor Cody from Everton, the ex-Wolves guy, centre back.
They still have Ndidi, right?
Yeah, Ndidi's still there as well. Yeah, it's a really strong team.
Oh,
yeah, because they didn't sell any of them. Like Iheanacho, he's still there, I think.
What about
the big ones?
Gay's in Everton. My bad.
Yeah, the big ones they lost were Maddison, Harvey Barnes, and
Tillemans for free to Villa.
Tillemans as well. Yeah, so they lost a few, but obviously they got a bit of money for Maddison, got a bit of money for Barnes. So yeah, they'll be buying. So they'll be right up there.
So Maddison went to Spurs. That happened so early, and then Barnes went to Newcastle. I don't think that's a good. I feel like St. Maximin gets a bad rap, and it's kind of a mistake to get rid of him for Barnes. But that's another thing. That's just my opinion. I'm just throwing that out there.
Yeah, St. Maximin's he was quite injury prone as well. Though, like when he played, he was on fire. Like he must. He was only
injured like last year. I don't remember him like the other years. People were saying that. There's a lot of Jody was saying it, but I think sometimes when they're gonna get rid of you, they build a case, and it's like, oh, let's say he's injury prone. I was like, not in the seasons we had to deal with him. Seen him play a lot, but he was injured last year a lot.
But yeah, I think the other teams that are going to be up there, Leeds, they drew 2-2 at the weekend. They had a bit of a slow start, but they got their manager in later than everyone else. So they're playing a little bit of catch up, but they've still got good players. They'll be strong. Watford won 4-0 on the first day of the season, so they look good. I
think they got Middlesbrough, Michael Carrick. I know he had like a big recovery, last season when he joined, and they couldn't make it to the Premier League, but they came close. Yeah,
they lost on the first day of the season at home to Millwall, but it's a lot. But it's a long old season though, so I wouldn't read too much into just game one. But yeah, they'll be expected to be up there. Like I say, Norwich still got good players. They'll be up there. Watford will be up there. yeah, it's a tough league. There's so many teams and so many like ex-Premier League teams
I
as
heard it's
well.
100 games like that season down there. Is that true?
It's not far off. It's 46.
That's just the first half of the season, right? And then there's the second half of 46 more. No, I'm just
Yeah,
kidding.
they keep playing. They keep playing. Everybody else goes on holidays. They keep playing there.
There's a summer school down there. Summer school.
They really make you work for the championship money.
Damn, for less money, more games, less money.
Yeah.
And then are they gonna add the extra minutes to each game, which is not really extra minutes. They're gonna actually make you play the minutes that people paid to see you play, like they're doing in the Premiership this season. They did it in the Charity Shield game and some of the preseason games. Do they have that in the Championship too?
I think so. I'm not 100% sure. But
I don't remember your game having like an extra long injury time after.
Yeah, I don't think we had any major like calls in the game, so I don't know if it's because of that, but we'll find out as the season goes on. But yeah, I mean, more games means hopefully I can get to more, because it's the Championship. Less of our games will get moved for TV, because that was the problem with the Premier League. Like games kept getting moved to like the evenings and things, or like weird times. So I couldn't always get to them with shows, but hopefully we'll have a lot more 3 p.m. Saturday games, which means I can get to them before I go to shows. Does this mean that you're going to be rooting for your team to stay in the Championship because it works out for your comedy and your football schedule more? When you lose the game at Wembley to come up, you're the only one celebrating on the Southampton side. No, see, because all the positives come at a price. So the positives are, the tickets are cheaper. There's more games. We win more games. We maybe play in some young players, but all this is at the cost of being irrelevant.
And me asking you these dumb questions.
But what's the Championship equivalent of what's going to happen in the Premier League, for example? You're going to have to play. Every team is going to have to play away at Luton Town in somebody's backyard. So
that's hilarious. Like, listen, you're in the Championship and you don't have to play at Luton. We're in the Premiership and we have to play at Luton. That's the bananas thing. You would think that you'd have to do that more than us.
The crazy thing as well, like in terms of like the money the clubs have and the size of the attendances at the games, the Championship is actually like, it's like Europe's like 5th league or 6th league or something crazy like that.
Watched?
Yeah, in terms of people actually going to the stadiums and stuff, and the finances the clubs have. Like it's right up there. It's pretty nuts.
I think just by a brief look at the attendances, it's probably Rotterdam United, which had last season had 10,500 average attendance, and Luton had 9,800. So it's not a big difference.
What do you mean?
So Rotterdam United, I think, had the second tiniest stadium after Luton. Rotterdam. So probably they are the ones that
Rottingham United has a ring to it. It just made me want to like.
It's Rotherham.
It's Rotherham.
We're recognizing the name.
Forget it. I'm not into that. I'm not for that. It's not me.
I think they got relegated though. I don't think they're in the league anymore.
No, I think. Because I thought they were 4th from bottom. Oh, I might be wrong.
They might have been. Oh, they might be. They're in it. Yeah, they're in it.
They're in it. Yeah. They just escaped by 1 point.
Hilarious.
Yeah, I didn't even know they were still in it. That's how much research I've been doing on this league.
That's dope. I'm looking forward to it.
You know everything about Rotterdam, Lee. Like, give it a few weeks.
I'll tell you when I go there.
Yeah.
Hilarious. Lee didn't even know there was a town called Rotherham in England. Now you do. Now I do.
I ended up checking out the first game of the Scottish season this weekend instead because I'm up here.
Oh yeah.
As well, I went to Hibs versus St Mirren in the Scottish Premier League.
That's pretty big at Hibs. I've heard of Hibs.
Yeah, they're like the Celtic of Edinburgh.
Hilarious.
Because because they play in green and they have like a harp as their logo. Like they're like the Irish Catholic team of Edinburgh, whereas Celtic are like the Irish Catholic team of Glasgow. And obviously in Glasgow there's Rangers, who are like the rivals, and in Edinburgh it's a team called Hearts.
Oh yeah, Hearts is huge.
Yeah, so I went to watch Hibs St Mirren because that was the home game in Edinburgh on Sunday. So St Mirren fans turned up with flares and all sorts of crazy stuff though. It was a pretty wild game. There's some crazy VAR calls. 5 goals. St Mirren won 3-2 with an 88th minute winner. So it was it was a fun time. But that was similar level of football to the Championship.
Even when you're not in England, you're still checking out. You're getting comfortable and assimilated with the Championship. That's good, even if it's in Scotland. I guess I want to ask Neil some questions. Like, so I checked you out Chelsea a bunch of times during the preseason, and you did a great job of selling players, even though you didn't want some of them sold, but you needed to do that. And even though they sold some of the people that you didn't want and chiseled the squad down, which you had to do, you guys look impressive. And then the problem of not being able to score when the ball is in front of the net, that seems to be gone. Even with or without Nkunku, this guy named Nicholas Jackson, who materialized out of nowhere. The algorithm found him, and he's got this thing where it's I don't want to compare him to somebody else, but the mentality. Sometimes mentality is everything. Where he's just there to have fun, and he's not aware of the fact that he could make mistakes. So it's just all positive play. He's all action. He's kind of fearless because he's so into like playing, and which is a beautiful thing. And he has skill, pace, size. So, and I know you just mentioned Nkunku getting hurt. And I know you're going to be negative about the team anyway, but I just wanted to be positive first before you go ahead and shit on your own team, Chelsea.
No, I mean, my expectations this season are not that great. So I'm actually, I said, like, I was actually pretty pleased by how
I might not be able to predict the top 4, but I can predict how you're going to talk about Chelsea.
Yeah, but I mean, preseason was good. I'm not gonna lie. And in fact, not just the performances. I really like the format of the preseason. The fact that they had this whole Premier League summer series, which meant you're actually playing the kind of teams that you're going to be playing in the season. So you kind of almost can take it a little more seriously, because the team you're playing is also at the same level of preparation, and they're trying to get to that same end date. Start date of the season. So we played Brighton, we played Newcastle, we played Fulham, and then we played Dortmund after. So I think these are 4 really good games that gave the whole team a good run. And after a long while, I don't remember the last time, maybe when Conte's first season, when preseason actually felt like we are building towards something. So that was really good, because the worry was that on the back of last season, when we had all these problems and we had so much chaos, and then we got in a Spurs manager, that the preseason was just
you didn't have to say he got in. I mean, it's why are you being disrespectful? He gave you a great preseason, bro.
Yeah. So that's the thing. Like my thinking at the beginning of the season was that if preseason we don't come out firing, that everything's going to be just so downbeat at the beginning of the season. But then, we've been unbeaten. We've had some good games. We've scored some good goals and had a lot of really, let's be honest, right? It's a brand new squad. We're starting from scratch. We have 3 players from the
biscuits from scratch. Chelsea is biscuits from scratch.
Yeah, and then we have 3 players from the team that won the Champions League, right? Which is not that far away. And one of them is Thiago Silva, who's a million years old. Well, then it's Ben Chilwell and Reece James, who are almost always on the injury list. Mm-hmm. So in terms of players that we're going to be seeing week in, week out, these guys are all unknown quantities. So it really helped, like a good preseason, a lot of nice surprises. Like you mentioned Jackson, he was, and the problems we've had at the striker position, right? Like we can't get anybody to stick. So, and he feels like one of those all-round strikers that have become, you look at someone like Harry Kane, who's not just a fox in the box, right? Like he's stepping back, he's linking up play. So I think that's where the game is going. Your main striker needs to be somebody who can do more than one thing, and he seems to be that kind of player. He has the pace.
It's not that that's your main player needs to do that. That's Pochettino's style of main player, because that's what he did with Harry Kane, and he found this kid, and he's kind of molding the team in that type of way.
Possibly, because I never
because
saw
you just
him
said
before.
they brought in that Spurs coach, right?
Yeah, because I never seen this guy play before, right? So maybe it's Potts' coaching, but he has the pace, he has the physicality, he seems to have the the spatial awareness of where he is vis-a-vis the goalkeeper and where the players around him are. He's turning defenders around, and again, it's just preseason, so trying not to get a little get carried away. But it was good. Like he was linking up well. He was making Mudryk work, and Mudryk was playing well with the left back and the left centre back. So, and that 4-2-3-1, we settled on it. I think we played 3 at the back for one half, and then we never played it again. So 4-2-3-1, it settled. And then there were surprises. Like there were players like Ian Matson, who only played as a forward. He's a left back. He's always played as a left back, but he, obviously we have Chilwell, we have Cucurella, so he's not getting any game time there. Pochettino's tried him in the first game as a winger, and he scored 2 goals, and he's tried him pretty much every game after, and he's been brilliant. So he's going to stay with the team.
I can't get on board with a young player called Ian. Ian sounds like the name of. It's an old name, isn't it?
It's an old name.
Ian's like, you know what's going to happen? You know what's going to happen? We're going to get off this call, and then Ian's going to upload 1998 Ian in New York.
No, that's
back
funny.
in the day.
Like there's, I never thought about that. Like in comedy, sometimes you need an old name, like a Agnes or something. Is Ian like Agnes now? Are there no new Ians?
Yeah.
Nobody's using
I haven't
that no
seen
more?
any.
Holy shit. There's no 20-year-old Ians? God damn, walking around here like, we're dying? Man, that is bananas, bro. I didn't know that. My name is becoming an old name. That's funny as shit.
No, Ian Matson now. He's bringing it through for you.
Yeah,
he's the new one.
You better hope
he
turns out. You better hope he can.
Now I got to root for a Chelsea player.
So Matson's been doing well. Enzo Fernandez hasn't had a good preseason so far. But
what about that Gallagher though? As you doubt him, as he's playing great in a position you don't think he's built for, but he's still young and he was amazing. All the mistakes that he was making when he's playing last season, he was not simple ball. He looked better. He looked like they paid Enzo money for him. He looked amazing, bro. And that number 40, I can't remember his name, because they never had his name on the back of the
Santos
jersey.
or Cassidy. Was he a white guy or a black guy?
He's like tall. He looks Latin-y,
Oh.
Yeah, he's smart. He's smart. And I brought him up to you before.
Oh, are you talking about Chukwuemeka?
No, he's not. Chukwuemeka is good.
Might be Andre Santos.
Might be.
But Santos is not tall though.
No.
This is a perfect squad for Pochettino to work with, though. Like he's the guy you want working with players like that, with talented young players who need to be sort of polished into, consistent professionals.
Oh yeah, Cassidy.
Yes,
he's Italian. But yeah,
But you're right, Lee.
Yeah, Lee, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just saying, like, you've got the ideal manager, I think, to work with this squad. This squad wouldn't have been good in the hands of a Conte or something. Maybe they would have in a Potter, but he didn't get that chance. But I think Potter's got that nice mix, so is that he can work with young players, but he's also got experience of big clubs like PSG. He's also got experience of smaller clubs like Spurs. So he can.
Hilarious.
He can work at different levels,
It's hilarious. That is crazy. Poch went from Spurs to PSG to coaching like Messi, Neymar was there, and Mbappe. So that's pretty. They were there when he was. Yeah, he was there. That's pretty good.
He might have to coach Neymar again. You never know.
Well, you're saying Chelsea might get him? Or is that what you're saying?
Well, there's been like not very credible reports, but there's been some smatterings of talk today about Neymar being on the market, and then, as usual, I think Chelsea always get linked, and then the Nkunku injury reports poured in. So people are trying to put 2 and 2 together and come up with.
Has Brozier played any minutes for you preseason?
No, he hasn't, because he didn't even go on the tour. He stayed back in Cobham because he hasn't completely recovered from his injury yet.
Yeah.
So, it's a little chaotic, even though the preseason went well and we got a lot of good findings from the tour. It's still not ideal though. Like, the league begins in 6 days. We still don't have our biggest problem from the season, which is a DM. And I think
Gallagher.
I mean,
you got to do it at least for now.
I guess at least for now, but luckily the team we are playing in the first game, Liverpool, also don't have a DM, so it's gonna be no DM versus no DM. So I guess we lucked out on that.
That's hilarious.
And the second game is probably, I think, Luton Town. No, I'm not sure.
I think Lavia should go to the Chelsea-Liverpool game and just sign for whoever wins. Winner gets him.
Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, we should have Lavia and Casero right there in the middle of at halftime. Yeah. So, so that's a little worrying. Goalkeeper again. I know we went for Roberto Sanchez, and I feel like that's a kind of a sideways move. He's probably better than Keppa when it comes to cross collection. He's a little more of an imposing character, but I still don't think he is that elite level of goalkeeper. So,
Keppa.
No, not Keppa. Keppa definitely isn't. I'm talking about Roberto Sanchez, who we just got.
Yeah, but again, like, there's some players, they're gonna have to work hard to impress you because you just kind of written them off. And I've watched Keppa this preseason, and I think he did let in a goal a game, but he had good games. Like, I didn't see one bad game. He looked better. I think you're still like have Keppa phobia from prior seasons, but I feel like
Keppa was bad. Keppa was bad this preseason.
Are you sure,
he let it. Yeah. Because, and I don't even rate these other players I'm gonna mention, but we saw Slonina in goal, and we saw Jamie coming in goal for a little while, and those are the games where we went conceding off the first shot that we faced. It's always Keppa. One shot on target, one goal conceded. So
you're Willian in him. You're Willian in him, man.
Well, I'm guessing successive Chelsea managers kind of agree, right? Like, because this guy has been on a 7-year contract and at the peak of his age on his prime years, and we've replaced him once with a 20 million unknown signing in Mendy. And now Mendy's gone. We're immediately, as soon as he's gone, trying to replace him again with another 20 million signing. How often does that happen? If you're a good keeper, these things don't really happen to you. So there are question marks on Keppa.
No, there are questions, but then it's just like 2 years ago, every United fan, or a lot of them, were like, we should sell Rashford because that's how bad he was playing. Now, if you ask any United fan, everybody was terrified he wasn't going to sign that new contract. You know what I'm saying? And it's like 5 years ago, we were worried that David De Gea was going to leave us. And then, then the reverse is like, don't let him sign that contract. Let's get Onana in. So football changes. I feel like this could be a positive change for Keppa, not because I want to play Keppa and I want United to put 10 past him, but I really thought that he was impressive in the preseason.
But the difference is, you see how in De Gea's case and Rashford's case, you've had good times too, right? Now, Keppa is in the 6th season of his Chelsea career. He signed a 7-year contract. He's got 2 seasons left, and he might just get replaced by Brighton's number 3 keeper. So when are the good times going to happen? Like
you said by Brighton's.
Yeah, we just brought Brighton's number 3.
But you're
Robert Sanchez.
You're disrespecting Brighton when you need to disrespect Keppa. Like Brighton.
I'm saying that's how far in the pits we are.
Yeah, don't disrespect Brighton because you want to disrespect Keppa. Like Brighton knows what they're buying, bro.
Yeah. But apparently, we've still kept the goalkeeping coach from the Potter era, and that's Ben Roberts, who's worked with Rob. They have a close association, him and Sanchez. So I'm guessing that helps, and that's something that that's the reason why we went and got him.
Yeah, I mean, Sanchez was better for Brighton under Potter than he was De Zerbi. So, hopefully that coach can get the best out of him.
All right.
Yeah.
So we've been off the pod for a minute. So there's some major things happening in football, like all over football. Some in the Middle East, which is now a player in football. Some shit happened in the MLS. There's a Women's World Cup going on. Now, there's a question I got about that, which is kind of like, why is the Women's World Cup not finished before all of the Europe season start? Like, is that a first? Like, don't they normally play in the summer? What shifted this to like being played so late in the summer? Because now going into next week of the World Cup, like it's going to lose attention because all the leagues are going to start up. So that's kind of weird. And I don't remember watching the Women's World Cup when the Premier League is being played. The part of the attraction of the Women's World Cup was the fact that nothing was being played. So I don't know if the whole COVID and the schedule being thrown off and the World Cup, the way it was inserted into the schedule, if it did that, but that is weird.
Could be something to do with it being in the Southern Hemisphere. I don't know. Seasons
in Australia?
Maybe. Yeah, probably the first time.
It's winter. It's winter now in Australia. Too.
Yeah. So,
but so one of the biggest transfers I just want to get to is Messi, and he came to the MLS, did a deal with the MLS, Adidas, and Apple, and we got him. Beat the Saudis to it. The PIF fund, and gave him some shares of some stuff, and he's playing for Inter Miami, and this is why, and I wish I had the image on the screen. If I had an image on the screen, I would put a picture of Messi in his Inter Miami shirt smiling. And that smile tells me everything I need to know about Messi. Because Messi, when he's at his best at Barcelona, was always smiling, was always having fun. He knew where he was. He grew up there. He knew the players around him. They came up with him in the youth system. And then Pep was a youth system coach. And then so was Enrique. And then all the coaches, most of them after that. And Messi has not been happy since he left Barcelona. When he's at PSG, he was a broken-hearted man. Like, Barcelona was messed up financially. They couldn't afford to keep him. So he's kind of forced out there. The only team that could take him was PSG. It's the only place he would go. It's crazy that the Saudi thing that's going on now didn't happen a little bit sooner, or he maybe would have went there, but PSG was the only possibility at the time. and he went there, and you could tell he wasn't happy. It's not that he lost skill. He's a little slower, but when he's not enthusiastic, that really affects anybody when in any type of job or just in life. I was like, Messi's not happy. But here's a dangerous thing for the players in the MLS. Messi is happy. He's playing in Miami, and he's gonna be in America. So he chose this place. They met him. He's got a house there, and he's scoring goals and enjoying and hugging strange people he doesn't even know, who are his teammates, that aren't even worthy of being his teammates, because he's just on such a level, and as if he's back at Barcelona again. So the MLS, other teams, you're in trouble, because Messi is just happy. He's over his heartbreak of leaving Barcelona. And that's the key thing. And it's great to see him smile and enjoy himself. Like when he first went on the field with Ronaldinho and just enjoy himself at Barcelona, that smile tells me that he's gonna deliver some shit. And he's already delivered and over-delivered in the little time that he's been there.
He was smiling because he could go and buy groceries and only 2 people asked him for pictures. That's why he's smiling, because he can almost live like a normal person again. For the first time since he was like 15 or something.
Yeah, it's crazy when you compare, Messi going to eat at that restaurant in Argentina, and the whole country surrounded the restaurant, and then he's in Miami in Publix, like the Costco, just shopping, and like some girl and her father noticing.
That was really disrespectful of Miami, though. Like you can't be letting this superstar, the GOAT, just be at a grocery store and not bother him. Like you gotta Miami's gotta like raise his game a little
Step up their game.
Step up, yeah. You can't be taken seriously in this sport without doing shit like that.
But that's America. That's football in America.
I assure you, Lionel Messi, I assure you, you move to San Diego 2 years from now, and I'm not gonna let you step outside and be on your own.
Here goes the ulterior motive out here. You're trying to get him to come to San Diego. Nice stadium, by the way.
I'm gonna make you feel as special as you would be in Buenos Aires.
Nice stadium, by the way. I went there to see that game. It was the United's second team versus Wrexham. And it was great sitting in that stadium looking around with my home girl, Christina, and we had a good time, and it was a good game. So here I'm going to say 2 names: Mbappe and Harry Kane. Mm-hmm. Now, somebody explain this to me. Both guys are in pretty much the exact same similar position, but like they're in the last year of their contract, and they refuse to extend or sign a new contract, and they've let both their clubs know that they're leaving at the end of the season. And one of the players has a World Cup, been to a World Cup final, scored 3 goals in it, and has actually won trophies for his team, but he's getting treated more shittier than the other guy who has not accomplished any of those things, who's in the same position as him. And that other guy is not getting done dirty by his team. So why is Mbappe getting treated the way he's being treated at PSG when Harry Kane hasn't won anything for Spurs, and he's in the same position, told him the same thing, but Spurs are not doing him dirty? Like, what is the difference here?
Because PSG is a bigger organization than Spurs, right? Like, they actually feel like they can take these steps against Mbappe and not have any what are Spurs gonna do apart from just keep saying no to bids? They know they need Harry Kane. PSG has kind of accepted the fact that they are gonna go ahead without Mbappe. Spurs are still trying to see if if they don't like the bid, they're still gonna use Harry Kane this season.
But PSG refuses to use Mbappe and put him at the kids' table in the preseason. And it's like, Spurs ain't doing that. So it's like, why is the treatment different for a player who's giving you more, who's in the same position as Harry Kane?
No, because it has gotten a little acrimonious, right, between PSG and Mbappe. It's not like Harry Kane is still in a decent relationship with the club. What's happened with PSG is that they know that Mbappe has this agreement with Real Madrid to leave on a free, so they're trying to do everything they can to push through a move, essentially pushing him away this summer.
But why is that his fault when he's living out the contract that they both signed? And also, he could have went to Real Madrid for free and been there already, but he didn't. And Real Madrid a few years ago offered them money for him when they didn't have to. They could have just cherry picked him for free, and he stayed, signed a new contract. So it's like, whatever you do for PSG, they ain't going to be happy. So
I think there's a couple of things. I think a couple of things. So one, I think Spurs hold out hope that Kane might still sign a new contract. If they start the season well, there's a chance he might want to stay. Whereas I think at PSG, it's like bridges have been burned. I think they paid a lot of money to get Mbappe from Monaco, and they want to recoup some of that. They're not going to be able to get what they paid for him, obviously with a year left. But I think they want to try and get something for him rather than let him go.
They should have taken the money from Real Madrid 2 years ago, and they didn't take it.
They thought they're going to win the Champions League with Mbappe, Messi, and Neymar.
So they rolled the dice. It didn't work out. Just grow up.
Yeah,
it's football.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Lee. Go ahead.
But I just think they think it's a bit of a business disaster if they let him leave for nothing, or not let him leave because they can't. If they lose him for nothing.
Yeah, it'll be listen. It's the same thing with Spurs, right? But they're not trying to destroy a non-World Cup winner the way PSG is trying to destroy a World Cup winner and a World Cup finalist. He went to the World Cup finals with missing key players from his team like Nkunku and Benzema. If they'd been there, either one of them, like he would be two-time World Cup winner. You know what I mean? Like he shows up. Like it's funny, man. They just analysts just watching Champions League. They've always picked on Mbappe and Neymar, and they included Messi in that when Messi was there. It's weird because footballers like this, of this level, back in the day, would never get anything. And they know some players are going to drop off. Like Neymar's getting older. He's got a bunch of injuries. But I'm not totally blind. I get why people would have some issues with Neymar, but he's still a football king. And it's more about disrespecting him than respecting what he's already done in the game. You know, like multiple Champions Leagues, Spanish titles, and French titles. It's like, come on.
I mean, also you're forgetting that Harry Kane is a 2023 Tiger Cup winner.
Yes,
in Singapore this pre-season. So let's put some respect on that name and the trophies that he's won.
The trophy or trophies?
Hey, he recently also won another, I don't know, maybe a Red Bull trophy or something like that.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
Yeah, I mean Audi Cup back in the day as well.
True. Yeah, he did. You know, it's bigger than the World Cup. So yes, yeah, you're right. So I'm gonna just say some stuff about United, and it's regarding Harry Maguire. And I threatened Lee that I was gonna say this before the podcast started. And so yesterday, Manchester United played their second team against Athletic Bilbao in Ireland, and Harry Maguire started for our second team. He messed up, made a bad, heavy-footed pass, which caused one of the Williams brothers to score against United, and we went down 1-0. So we go down 1-0. Now he's touching the ball, people are booing him, and then And United fans are booing their ex-captain, and and they're booing him. And that's not why I think he should go. I think he should go because some fans felt bad that they were booing him, and they started cheering for him, and they try to drown out the boos. And you can't have a Man United player that the fans feel sorry for on the team. And that's why we have to sell him. There is no historical Manchester United player who the team that fans that was a legend or great that fans felt sorry for, not because of something in their personal life, but because of actual football. You know what I'm saying? We have people like Roy Keane, who had edge, and even when he did something bad, you'd root for him because that edge was for you. Even Bruno Fernandes, who flops and throws his arms up. If you ask some of the people who cheer for him, if they like that, they would say no. But because he brings that thing to the game, and Cantona kicked a kid in the chest, a grown man in the chest, and you love him for the wrong things he did, and it's like, that's what, you can't have a guy you feel sorry for on the team that you want. No, please leave him alone. Like, he's a grown ass man, probably married and kids, and people, no, leave Harry alone. Like, that's not, that type of player should be on team. So I like this offer that came in from West Ham. And there are West Ham players or ex-West Ham players that play for England. It's just got sold for 100 million, whatever. And so playing for West Ham would not hurt Harry's England career. He needs to actually go and take this offer up. But you cannot have someone who the fans feel sorry about captaining or just playing on your team. Plus, yesterday, when I watched that game, I keep forgetting his first name. I think his name is Fernandez. He's a left back, but he's amazing.
Alvaro Fernandez. And I just feel like, excuse me, hey, if Martinez is injured, you drop Shaw in the center back, and you have Alvaro, Fernandez playing there. If Palacios not there, you don't have to bring the lock over to the left side like you do sometimes. Alvaro is completely comfortable, and even before this, I see the Man United fans made up like a video of another player that they want, he's a right back though, and it's like, bro, we have an academy. What is the academy for? If everybody just wants to buy shit, yeah, this guy, he looked great, but we had academy players, man. Let's use them. Like, let's not go shopping every time you hear Harry Maguire or somebody might get sold. So, I like McTominay. I always thought he was going to be a great United player. It's not working out. Mark Goldberg said something important, like he mentioned their age. McTominay's like 27, 28. Harry Maguire's about to turn 30. Like, we're not going to get better prices for these people. So, like, let's help them. Let's use them to help the team one more time. Let's sell them. Let's go. Let's keep the money to protect us from violating is the FFP, and inject the team with some youth, because we had some good snappy youth playing yesterday when they came on that pitch. I thought that was a good game yesterday, like from beginning to end. I enjoyed that game. I think we played better than we played on Saturday with our first team. Like, just attractive football. So I like to shout out Gore. I like to shout out Alvaro Fernandez, Hannibal. For like, Hannibal gets stuck in there. He can play at a Premier League pace. Before he came on against Liverpool last year and fouled some people. He was just always late to the ball. But in the preseason, he's dislodged a few balls loose. He's a good presser. And he was great against Wrexham. Like, he was a man of the match, even though we lost that game. So he's got both. Who else was good? Fortson was decent.
Gore. I can't remember. I'm sure I'm leaving somebody out, but yeah. So I'm looking forward to United's season. Is there anything else you think we should cover, guys? First one back.
Little mention for Fantasy League. We're back up and running. We need your team, Ian.
Yeah, shit.
I think
I was going to make it a part of the podcast, me doing it and you guys walking me through it, but it's going to be too long, so we can't do that.
I think as long as this time, if you pick players that play, that was the main thing. Last year, you had a bunch of guys who were on the bench.
Why didn't you tell me that last year?
But what I'll do, I'll read the code out now, but what I'll also do, I'll post it in the comments on YouTube when it gets uploaded. And also I'll post it on Twitter as well. But the code is OHNT5K. You
said that H, real Jamaican. H.
I need to make sure people know what it is. So yeah, OHNT5K.
Even the T5K. You've been in Brixton a bit. I think Lee been hanging out in Brixton.
I've been drinking some Caribbean soda today, actually. So
that's what it is. That would be funny.
There's a Caribbean store beneath the flat I'm living in. So.
Oh yeah. How long are you at this festival?
Till Saturday. It runs the whole of August, but I'm only here till Saturday. I did like the first half of it, and then I'm going home. So I stopped on the way up and did a show in Manchester. I'm doing a show in Liverpool on the way down, on the way back home. So yeah, it's all good fun.
Are you gonna drop Lavia off while you're there?
No, like I say, the winner of Chelsea Liverpool at the weekend gets it. So
I'm going to say some things in Chelsea's defense. Fuck Brighton. Don't pay that money for Salcedo. And fuck Juventus. You're not getting Lukaku plus 40 mil for Blood. No, that is if you guys do that, it's worse than like all the buys last season. I'd rather your fans get over what Lukaku said. Lukaku get over what he said. You guys come together and you just play for you. That is crazy. Like the balls on Juventus. A guy who's already won Serie A, you know he can play for you, and he'll do good for you. Like there's no even like, do you think you'll be able to play in this league type sentiment? Like, and you're getting him? Get out of here, bro.
Also, if you don't rate Vlahovic, why do you want so much money for him? Like,
yeah.
If you're not going to keep the guy who's young and has only been there for a season, not had a good season, so make up your mind. Like, do you like the guy or do you not like the guy?
Yeah, don't say he's good. He had one good season his first season. He was good at Fiorentina before that. Then he did good there. Then last season he was off. And you're like, you're getting rid of him, and you want 40 mil plus Lukaku? Are you out of your? Come on, man.
But see, this is where like I don't really understand the thinking. Like, why are we even having talks over this player if the deal is clearly not at all a good deal for us? Like, why are we still at that table? Like Casero, similarly, why are we still not being decisive about it? Right, and slowly, the money, it's 100 million, right? Now you've bid 80 million. If that's how far you're going to go to, walk away, try and get Lavia. Or we bought this guy from France, Leslie Ugochukwu, I think. Probably butchering his last name, but he's a DM.
I don't know his last name, but it sounded like you did butcher it.
Yeah.
Is this the guy from Rennes?
Rennes, yeah. But we bought him for 27 million euros. And he's a DM, he's young. And if you bought somebody for 27 million, surely you can trust him to do half a job, right? Like, trust your scouting and, just use him. Like, we're going to try and send him out on loan while we're still fiddling around with who should be our DM. So, yeah, I don't understand. Like, all the good work we've done in the preseason, we are at risk now of, actually sabotaging all of it by the chaos we've caused in the last week or so. So
I don't think it's that much chaos because I just wouldn't pay that money for this guy. Let Brighton keep him. Let Brighton keep him.
no, my
if
point.
somebody pays for it.
My point is, whatever the decision is, it should have been made by now. What are we still hoping to achieve? Like, why haven't we, like you're saying, right? Like, walk away. We should have walked away.
How do you
It's-
know you haven't walked away? Are they still
No, because
talking about it on the
they're still
forums?
talking. Yeah. Apparently, another bid is coming. I have a feeling we're gonna end up paying the 100 million,
Oh man.
but we'll probably we're paying 99.99 and call it a victory. It's so stupid.
What do you
Brighton
think?
has
You think you should buy him or not?
No, I've never believed a DM
Good.
should be that amount of money. Like
Good.
somebody who has no contribution to goals, either creating or scoring in football, should not be worth that amount of money.
Well,
Then why do you
there
need
are
one?
some DMs.
Huh? What? What?
Why do you need one? You play anywhere then. You play anyone there if they don't require, if it's not contributing to the team.
No, he's contributing, but he's not $100 million worth of contributing.
Well,
Like I would.
there are some DMs who were worth 100 mil.
No,
They
I
never-
don't think any DM is worth that.
N'Golo
amount of money.
Kante was, and Makaleli was, and like
N'Golo Kante was 37 million or 35 million.
No, I know, but
Adjust for inflation.
In today's market,
Promise
if he
you,
was
inflation
available-
hasn't gone up that much.
Well, going back full circle, this is the problem like West Ham are having with the Ward-Prowse deal, is that like players are worth what someone's willing to pay for them.
Yeah.
And West Ham set the market by getting a team to pay over 100 million for their CDM with Rice. So West Ham set that market by demanding that price for Rice.
No,
So if
but-
they're saying Rice is 105 million, we can go Ward-Prowse is 30 and you need to pay it. Like, and that's
But
on
that's not
you because
much.
you set the
That's-
market.
That's not much. I think that's a deal. The fact that West Ham is not paying the 30 and like getting the guy in the preseason camp, and that's just
crazy.
outrageous.
Yeah,
That's crazy. 30
No,
for Ward-Prowse
but
is a
even
deal.
Declan Rice, right? So I've always believed that Declan Rice is the best young DM in the Premier League. But even that, I was always like, we shouldn't be paying. If that's the price, then we should look elsewhere. But I never imagined we'll then go and get Caicedo, who's got a fifth of the experience Declan Rice is in the Premier League, and then we expect to pay the same amount of price. Caicedo should have been a 60 million player.
And that's high.
And and that's let's hope everything goes well. I just don't get it. But now we've caused a situation where we've put all our eggs in the Caicedo basket, and seems like we'll have to pay up. But okay, then do that. Like if you're gonna pay 100 million, you should have done that a month ago or 2 months ago, and then allowed Pochettino to have Caicedo for the entire preseason. Instead of now, we're going into the first game of the season and he doesn't know who his DM is.
He does. Gallagher.
Yeah.
Gallagher. You don't want him to be the DM, but you saw.
Well, he's not a DM. I know he can do a job. See, Gallagher's one of those players, you put him anywhere on the pitch. I'm pretty sure you give him a pair of gloves, he'll do a half decent job. Like he's got that, he's got that thing about him that he's never gonna let the team down. But he's not a DM, so there's gonna be moments in games against good opposition where he'll come short, and then people are gonna, this question's gonna come up again. Like, what did you expect? You don't have a DM in your team, so yeah. I just feel like lack of decisiveness is costing us.
Yeah, you some teams get stuck in their problem for seasons after season. Like United got stuck in the problem of like having a good midfield since Fergie left. Even when Fergie was there, that last midfield, they won the title. But you're like, you got to revamp this. So finally, under Ten Hag in his second season, and if we get Amrabat, then we'll have like a title challenging midfield. You know, something you feel comfortable. You know, like you feel comfortable getting an injury because you have somebody to slide in there. But it's been a minute, and you guys need a DM. But I do like what Gallagher did in the preseason, and he's a Chelsea player. He's from you guys. I've seen him play for Crystal Palace, and he's right. He's not a DM, but he's not too young to become one. And so I wouldn't write him off, and I would never pay Brighton that money for Caicedo ever.
Yeah, but
Never, bro.
I don't
Love it if
blame
just
Brighton
United
asking
sign him
for
out the blue the next week.
I'd be mad.
I mean,
because
I don't blame Brighton for asking for that money if that's where the market is, you know, and they know they can get 80 million for Caicedo next season too, and they somehow managed to sign an extension with him, which is crazy. Like Caicedo's agent is the biggest criminal in this entire thing. They got him to sign a extension in January after he had been on Instagram with a public appeal to the club to let him go, and they still signed an extension. They didn't put a release clause in. That's just stupid. That's like some Harry Kane's brother kind of incompetence.
it might be his brother who's his agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I also want to give a quick shout out to Levi Colwell. I think he signed the contract extension with us. Is getting a little touch and go because he had Brighton wanted him, Liverpool wanted him, but yeah, I think the club finally got it over the line, and he might end up being our best signing of the season actually, even though he's been with us for a long time. Yeah.
Congrats. That's sometimes it's not easy to sign your own players, especially after the season you had.
Yeah.
It's like there's a lot of, it's not a stable environment. It's not a stable home, it's like, yeah. Any last words before we get out of here? Anything you're looking forward to this weekend?
Just good luck, guys. First weekend. It's the excitement, the buzz, and well, actually, Neil's never excited before the Chelsea season, so hopefully they give you something to get excited about, Neil.
I want to see.
They will, but that doesn't mean he's still going to get excited.
I want to see Pochettino. We hate Tottenham. At full time.
Who you playing?
We play Liverpool at home.
That's tough. I mean, you're at home though, but that's tough.
Yeah.
I gotta watch that. We got Wolves on Monday.
Oh, cool. Wolves. Yeah, Wolves is a good game to start on. Wolves, do they still have Lopetegui as their coach? I know there's some rumors about him trying to go.
He stayed, but that's good. I don't think he's happy. And I didn't hear too much about anything about Wolves in the transfer market. And that's why he wanted to leave. So
yeah, they had some issues with FFP. They didn't have money funds to spend. So yeah. They could be a relegation team this season.
Yeah. That'd be bad to be on Lopetegui's resume or CV, as they say in England. But yeah. All right, guys, it was fun chopping it up with y'all again. The world has turned upside down since we haven't podcast in months. Like Saudi Arabia is it Saudi Arabia has bought up players.
Do we all need to pick a favorite Saudi team now as well?
Yeah. Is there a Saudi fantasy league that we should just join?
Yeah, that's just their league. Yeah. What do you think happens between the hours of 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. in the offices of the Saudi Premier League?
I think it's one team that has a front three now of Mahrez, Firmino, and St. Maximum.
Yeah.
That'll be a fun team to watch.
I'll watch that all day.
The Ronaldo team has Ronaldo, Mane, and I don't know, somebody else.
Damn. And some of these players, they're getting cheaper than I thought they would get them to.
Yeah. But yeah, it's Al Ali who have Mahrez, Firmino, and St. Maximum. They got Edouard Mendy in goal as well.
Damn.
So they could be a fun team to watch. I don't know who any of their other players are. Just looking at it now.
And you know those players are going to be like, "Yo, it's nice over here, man." They're going to be whispering in the ears of players that normally wouldn't even consider it, and there's going to be like, this is like the leak at the bottom of a boat. Start small, more water starts coming in. Like, yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
This is
it's Al Ittihad where Kante and Fabinho's gone. So their CDMs are Kante and Fabinho
Oh, fuck.
with Benzema up front.
They have a better CDM than Chelsea and Liverpool combined.
Hilarious.
That's just crazy. I wouldn't want
Yeah,
to.
they're the reason you're both in the market for Lavia.
Yeah.
Damn.
Apparently
Yeah, I would
that club Al Ittihad who signed Benzema and Kante and Fabinho, they're after Salah right now.
But Salah's
Yeah.
agent has come out and said that if we wanted to, like he's gone on record saying today that if he wanted to leave Liverpool, we wouldn't have signed a new contract last year. So he's not there. Guess who's their backup? Target. Raheem Sterling.
Cool.
So
you would love that. You would love him to leave you. You're not high on him right now.
Yeah, I'm not high on it. So I wouldn't be opposed to it. But again, Madueke is injured. Nkuku is injured. Madueke is coming back from injury. Nkuku is injured. So I don't think it's the right time to let Sterling go.
Yeah. Well, hopefully Sterling can get on the left where he belongs and do some business, and you could stop chastising him.
Well, he played on the left. He's just making a lot of basic mistakes. It's not even like he's overhitting passes, underhitting. Yeah.
Yeah, he's trying too hard. Yeah. I see. He's got trying too hard syndrome. For some reason, he's trying to, he doesn't believe in the stuff that he's already accomplished in his life. But all right, Lee, get some sleep. You get hours to sleep now. You're out there in Scotland. Enjoy that festival. It should be a good time. It's, check out my homegirl Kieran Doole's show.
Kieran Dale's there.
Yeah. She got a great show. She has a show, a one-woman show, and I saw it the other day. She was walking down the street in December, and some guy busted her over the face with a bottle. And the show is about that. And it's funny, and it's fundamentally sound. So if you're out there, check that show out. Any last words, anybody?
No, good to be back.
Good to be back. Thank you everybody for watching and listening. And yeah, man, let's ride.
Go Al Hilal.
Oh, they're going.
All right, guys.
All right. Stop that.